For our Otis Earth Day environmental project, we interviewed Kate Turbush, the Otis garden caretaker. Kate is a toy design student focused on creating sustainable toys for the future generation. Her work is dedicated to sustainability by using recycled, biodegradable, and/or ethically sourced materials. Yes. Kate isn't here with us today, but she did send us her response through text. Right now, I have Ella with me to sub in for Kate. The first question I had for Kate was, how did you start your role as a garden caretaker?
So what Kate told us is that I heard about the role of a garden caretaker through the job fair, actually. My roommate sent me a picture of the flyer because she knew I loved gardening, and the rest is history. I'm starting to look for the next garden manager, so keep an eye out if you're interested in working at the garden.
After that, I asked her, what have you learned from being the garden taker?
Before I started gardening our native plant garden, I knew practically nothing about the plants that grow naturally in Los Angeles. Now, everywhere I go, instead of seeing plants, I see food and medicine and life. So many of our native plants are not considered food because they're not ready for consumption right off the plant. They need to typically be heated or cleaned in some way first. So many are labeled poisonous or inedible, but our native plants are some of the most healing foods out there. While our garden cannot be used as food because Otis uses pesticides and dogs to pee in the garden, it has inspired me to start my own food garden in my backyard that consists of more than your typical fruits and veggies.
How can Otis students support the garden and your work?
So I'd say the biggest support is by telling other students about it. Since we don't have a sign for the garden yet, people learn about the garden by word of mouth. You're welcome to walk the garden path and chill at the nearby benches. Also, it's gotten so much better over the years, but remember to keep your dog out of the garden because dog pee kills plants. And if you're a student or professor who uses the smoking section, make sure your cigarettes find their way to the trash. It's gotten so much better now. That community is really kind, but I still find more cigarette butts in the garden than I'd like to.
The next question I have is, has Otis supported your goals for sustainability in toy design, and what challenges have you faced so far?
The toy design program is super supportive in my sustainability journey. I'm currently minoring in sustainability to help with my toy design ventures, and sustainability is the only minor you can take in toy that doesn't require you to add on any credits. That's to say, they make it easy to take sustainability as a minor. A lot of my sustainability journey in toy is self-driven, but all of the professors are very supportive. The biggest challenge I faced is with education. What is sustainable? What isn't? What even is sustainability? A lot of toy designers are unaware of the necessity of integrating sustainability into toy, and it would be amazing to see our toy design integrated sustainable practices class into the program.
And lastly, what have you personally done to implement sustainability efforts into your work, and what have other students done?
Generally, anything that is mass-produced is inherently causing a detriment to the planet. So when I design, I like to consider what materials would make the least impact and how my design can aid the materials I'm choosing. Right now, I'm working on a bamboo playset, and my focus with that has been, how can I make bamboo fun? How can I make the shapes interesting and appealing to the most amount of people? As toy designers, we use plastic a lot because it's durable and, most importantly, cheap. How can we create toys and create demand for materials that would be better impact the planet and future generations? What can other students do? Care. Find ways that you can implement sustainability into your designs in a way that is manageable for you, and remember that no human-made product is 100% sustainable. Our goal isn't perfection, it's improvement. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And that is the end of our interview. Happy Earth Day.
Hi, this is Ruby Morales, and I have decided to try and go ahead to document a recent event that has happened here at Park West. Park West has been undergoing some construction from the planters, and in said planters was a lot of life in terms of birds and squirrels, what have you. So I wanted to see if it's possible to see where all of the life went, essentially. So I'm going to go to two different planters, one that is currently being under construction, which is now just a pile of dirt, and to a different area that still has more life, that still hasn't yet to be touched, and we'll see what the ambiance is. Okay, so I am by a planter that has been completely uprooted. All the plants are gone, and there's just currently a big pile of dirt still taking up half of it. So I'm just gonna higher up the volume and we're gonna see how it sounds like. Okay, really eerily quiet, actually. That's disturbing. But I'm going to move to a different area with a different planter. Okay, I am now by a second planter area. It's yet to be under construction, so I'm going to go ahead and let the audio play to see the difference. Okay, that is a big difference, and it is a bit disappointing now that where I live no longer has as much life as it used to be. Hopefully, when they are finished with construction, that would change, that would change, that would change.
So my name is Hernan Beltran. I'm the service manager here at Park West. I'm in charge of the maintenance department. That means working in indoor and outdoors. Making sure that service requests are completed and the units occupied and vacant units. So.
My name is Steve Connor. I'm the community manager. I oversee the operations here at Park West.
Okay, the reason being for the planners is this is a project to waterproof the bottom of the water plant. These planters.
Okay.
There is water intrusion when it rains, and just to eliminate any future concerns or issues with the foundations. This is the whole purpose of getting rid of trees, getting the dirt out, removing all the old membrane, and getting a new product in there to seal the bottom of these planters, and then again putting everything back with new plants and water drip system. Our main concern was the overgrown trees causing damage on the bottom of the planters.
Okay.
And that's the main reason this is taking place.
Is this kind of the roots?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It really didn't have anything to do with any wildlife whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we do it is every year we look at projects or the need of the property in regards to just basic maintenance and just maintaining the community. Mm-hmm. And when we found that, there were leaks into the garage, and we found that most of it were coming from the planters. So it's just something that has to get done. The landscape is going to be, very simple. It's going to be nice, clean. It's going to be like a mulch. It's going to be brand new lighting. Mm-hmm. No trees. We're not going to add any new trees. Okay. The reason for that is because with the leaves falling from the larger trees, it did create drain cloggage and stuff like that, so we're not doing any of that.
Does that plan kind of include like out here, or is it simply
No.
the planter beds inside?
Just the planter beds inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Welcome and enjoy the sounds of the peaceful ocean waves at the Playa del Rey beach shore.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I am focusing this environmental report on climate and air quality, which I'm pretty sure dozens of other people think is an incredibly important thing to think about in the future. Because it's our atmosphere. It is the atmosphere we literally breathe, and it has the air that we need to survive. So I think it's a pretty good thing to think about. Now, I live in LA, which everywhere I go, I can see a fucking layer of smog in the distance. And mostly, I would like to live for the duration of the century without mass starvation and loss of habitat, that would be really nice. Since I've been recently traveling more and more outside into the Central Valley and other states, every time I'm able to just get out, it is actual pure bliss, and being able to go out and see the whole world and just recognize how pretty it is, it gets me super emotional, because I don't want to see everything go to shit. You don't want to see everything go to shit. Nobody wants to see anything go to shit, And with recent pushbacks on clean energy plans and more of a focus towards fossil fuels, I mean, hell, I'm worried, and I think you should be worried too, Anyway, here's an interview with Kazi. So much nicer everywhere else. I can breathe everywhere else.
Yeah, the smog makes it... There's a difference. Oh my god, there's a definite difference.
Their public transportation is not the best, so it is a very car-dependent city, which means there's a lot of pollutants, which means more smog. It's really why I like some places, small town places like Flagstaff,
Lots of fresh trees to make the air nice and fresh.
Right? It's so nice over there.
A lot of our transportation also runs on natural gas or electric vehicle.
I can't say for what it's like to live in a desert, because LA is kind of a desert, but it's sort of not the same, but a lot of Arizona is complete desert, sand, gravel.
Yeah.
With saguaro cactuses.
Low-key, living in a valley in the mountains helps our air quality as well, because all of the bad air tends to rise to the top of the valley where the mountains are. And since we all live in the bottom of the valley, the air doesn't sink.
Okay, that's good. I love you.
I love you.
I'm saying picture that, but right before things go dark.
Anyway, no, I'm someone that constantly just worries about stuff, and the climate and shit is something that I've thought about for as long as I've had a conscious brain, pretty much. I see so many problems in my own city so far, and I've seen the problems that lack of care has caused in the past. I don't think anyone wants a repeat of the whole lead air pollution shit in the 1900s that f***ed up so many people's brains. It's... yeah, I don't know. Stay safe, y'all.
The rain is coming down outside. Your head is touching someone else's head. Physical reaction material. And you're going to think about the fact that this little hole, this little divot in your belly connected you to the life force that brought you into this world, that fed you, that nourished you, that literally gave you life. Your belly button is kind of important to the beginning of life and the end of life.
There are roughly 342,000 stray cats in Los Angeles. Trap, Neuter, Release program, also known as TNR, aims to fix and release stray cats. Fixing stray cats benefits local wildlife and the livelihood of the cats. Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm joined here by Poppy, unless she walks under the bed, which is likely. Poppy is a gray and white American Shorthair. She enjoys biting feet, staring out the window, and chasing little lights. Hey, Poppy? Okay, well, now she's looking out the window. One of her favorite hobbies. Poppy was adopted last November. Poppy went to the vet to get spayed, only to discover she already had been. Poppy is likely a recipient of the TNR program, as she is a rescue cat. Hey, Poppy, get over here. Here, girl. Treat? Treat?
She is
Poppy.
not interested.
Poppy, can you tell us more about this experience? Treat? Well, Poppy hasn't quite learned to talk yet, as she is only 1 year old. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I hope you are having an amazing day, morning, night, wherever you are. My name is DJ Zhang Kui, and I'm so sorry for the way I sound. I'm getting over a cold at the moment, but this cold will not stop me from talking about this important topic. I don't really have a straightforward goal to tell you guys, but in my mind, my goal is to open the environment as an option for people to take a break or to do daily activities outside just to breathe in some well-needed fresh air. For me, I've always had a hard time doing homework or enjoying people's company indoors. Home to me is a place of comfort and personally where I have one of the most amazing naps. And when I want to get work done, napping is kind of out of the question. So what I do is I visit my local coffee shops or visit nearby parks. Not only am I motivated because I have a sweet treat in my hand, but I'm also getting some well-needed fresh air and sun. At Otis, I see way too many students indoors all day because that's where they need to do their work, whether it's class time or needing to use one of the computer labs. I am a victim of this at times, not going to lie, but this is where speaking out on this matter is truly important. Someone needs to be the voice to take at least 10 to 15 minutes of your day to breathe and enjoy some fresh air to allow your mind and body to have a break. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to be interviewing one of my friends. She also goes to college in the LA area. This is Emily.
Hello.
So, Emily, obviously you go to school in the LA area. The LA area can be a beautiful time or a very gloomy time. Where do you like to do your college work? Do you like to do inside, outside, a mix of both?
I'm a very inside person because I'll be honest, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with being outside depending on like where and like, you know, who's around. I'm a very inside person just because I enjoy the peace and quiet.
Real. Do you enjoy doing any outside activities particularly to like wind down or just connect with nature?
Yes, I enjoy walking primarily. That is like a big one. I do try my best to walk outside. I try my best to do it every single day. If not that, I am a soccer coach, and it usually helps me unwind, being able to teach the sport that I really like, and then just being able to enjoy being outside too. It's just a really big reliever. And it's a really big refresher because, you know, you spend all your day inside and it's like being outside, it's just a big fresh of air, basically. And I really do enjoy it. It's really relaxing. Although some people would say that coaching is a lot, you have to have a lot of patience for it, you do. But to me, it's very relaxing, I have to say.
I love that for you. I'm so happy to hear that. Is there anything that you would do differently, or would you enjoy to want to spend more time outside, either with friends or just by yourself?
I would say, yeah, no, I would say that I would like to spend more time outside because I do feel like sometimes I get I get too caught up in the whole like, doing life, like whether it's work or school life, and I don't enjoy that much time outside, like as much as I would say that I would like to. So I would say that I would like to walk more outside, but not only that, like not just walking, just sitting outside really and like reading a book would be even more great than that. And I really do wish that I could make more time for it, because I feel like more it's me, not so much of what I've got going on. I think it's more like me being able to have the time to do that.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and we'll definitely catch a hike later just to connect with nature, experience life to the fullest, and just breathe in some fresh air. Thank you so much, Emily.
Yes. No, you're welcome.
Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this very important topic. Remember, please take the time to go outside, just enjoy some fresh air and some time to reconnect with nature. This is DJ Junkwee signing out. Bye!
Hello listeners, Mellow Snarl speaking. I did an environmental report on the excavation of the planter beds at Park West and their impact on the local wildlife and trees and shrubbery, etc. I interviewed two people, one being the maintenance manager and the second being the Park West improvement agent. They kindly asked that the interview would not be uploaded on YouTube, so I'm doing a summary here with just my voice. The reason I was interested in interviewing about the subject was because at Park West we have some squirrels and feral cats and things that kind of live in the planter boxes, and I was curious to see if they were concerned or thinking of these kind of residents while they were doing this change. Also just pure curiosity, because even though it's right outside my door, I don't really understand why it's happening, and I wish that I did. In my interview, I found out that the reason behind this was that the planter beds were flooding because they were not properly irrigated, I suppose. And so they are replacing the bottom of the planter beds so that that flooding should stop. And they're also doing some re-landscaping, which will not include trees, which is interesting. And that is partially because the trees and their leaves were causing the pipes to be clogged, which caused flooding. I also asked about the trees outside Park West, and it seemed like they wouldn't be touched. I wish that they had answered a little bit more about the wildlife in the planter beds, but it just seemed like they were not the cause of this change, was their kind of answer to that question. I did ask a few more questions, but that was about the meat of the answers that pertained to my subject matter. So, yeah, I really appreciate their time, and good interview. Thank you. Mellow Snarl signing off.
Make the necessary changes to protect the planet. Hi, my name is Jenna Gu. Today I will talk about goal number 13, climate action, especially about wildfire. To reduce wildfire risk in Los Angeles through enhanced prevention with better education while supporting rapid recovery of affected ecosystems and improving life quality for impacted communities. Recently, fire has emerged as a major issue, with the severity of the problem being highlighted by the recent forest fires. This issue has become even more pressing due to its significant impact on both society and the environment. I personally haven't been directly affected, but thinking more broadly, Otis has been affected by air pollution locally, which has caused inconvenience to students. I interviewed a student who is the founder of a non-profit organization called Connect Key Foundation. Hi, my name is Jenna Gu, and today I want to talk about the LA fire. First, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, hello, I'm Jade.
Now, let's start our conversation. Do you agree that recently fire has emerged as a major issue?
Yes, recently it happened a lot.
Okay, then, does it affect you personally?
Oh no, it did not personally affect me.
Our goal is to reduce fire risk in Los Angeles through enhanced prevention with better education while supporting rapid recovery. What was the goal of your organization for the LA fire?
So our organization hoped to support wildfire victims both emotionally and materially by giving them as support as we can.
Can you introduce what your organization did for the victims?
Since we're still students and we're a student-run organization, we took a part in a fundraising activity. We did market begging in front of a grocery store on weekends for a month and donated the money we raised to help with the wildfire victims.
That's a good activity. How about trying something small like he did instead of just sitting still? Thank you for talking with me today. I will introduce one more activity, which is Fire Aid LA Benefit Concert. The concert aimed to raise funds for rebuilding communities devastated by wildfires in Southern California and to support efforts to prevent future fire disasters. Today, I talked about the LA fire, how we can reduce risk, and what we can do for humans and the affected natures. To prevent this, the best way is to educate people and support rapid recovery. Make the necessary changes to protect the planet. Thank you for listening my broadcasting.
Overall, as the young adult and the artist, I believe that the feelings of comfort and safety of a person can also be influenced by sensory elements such as temperature, sound, smell, and color. I hope that we can protect our environment through learning to separate trash, reducing plastic, and most importantly, repairing a healthy work environment and relaxing at home. By bringing more light to your living space, cleaning your living space, and engaging your senses so that sound and smell play a greater role in your well-being and mental health. Lastly, I'm so thankful that you stopped by my radio channels today, and I hope that you will have the perfect rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Now, let's listen to something more pleasant. Try to listen to a more calming environment. Together, we can help reduce noise pollution by increasing green spaces with trees, our first natural sound barrier, managing traffic flow to reduce vehicle noise, and supporting local laws that limit noise levels. Hear how you want to live. Now, let's listen to something more pleasant. Try to listen to a more calming environment. Together, we can help reduce noise pollution by increasing green spaces with trees, our first natural sound barrier, managing traffic flow to reduce vehicle noise, and supporting local laws that limit noise levels. Hear how you want to live.